Five Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom is one of the most talked about books out there. It helps from people like Apple billionaire CEO Tim Cook gives the book an enthusiastic endorsement. Bloom is a successful entrepreneur, investor, and now New York Times bestselling author. Sahil Bloom joins me now. So good to see you. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So this book was born out of your own story. Successful financially but unfulfilled. Is that accurate?
I had a single conversation that changed the course of my life in this regard. I was marching down the traditional path to success when I went out for a drink with an old friend, and he asked how I was doing. And I admitted that it had started to get difficult living so far away from my parents, who were out on the East Coast. We were living in California, 3,000 miles away. He asked how old they were. I said mid-60s. He asked how often I saw them. I admitted it was down to once a year. And he just looked at me and said, "Okay, so you're going to see your parents 15 more times before they die." And that was the moment that changed everything. Because in that moment, I realized that my entire definition of success, of what it meant to build a wealthy life, had been incomplete. And my wife and I took a dramatic action. We left our jobs, sold our house in California, and moved 3,000 miles across the country to live closer to both of our sets of parents.
So can you give us a quick rundown of the 5 types of wealth?
Absolutely. Time wealth is about the freedom to choose how you spend your time, who you spend it with, where you spend it, when you trade it for other things. It is about an awareness of time as your most precious asset, that idea that was sparked through that conversation with my friend. Social wealth is about your relationships. Mental wealth is all about purpose and growth and creating space in your life. Physical wealth is about your health and vitality, and then financial wealth is about money, but with the specific nuance of really understanding what your definition of enough really looks like.
Right. And you talk a little bit, you call time the most valuable asset, which is interesting, and the chapter on time is, most precious asset. That's fantastic. But I want to go to what you say, you call front row people. This has to do with the social wealth. Is that where that comes in?
Exactly right. Front row people is this idea of visualizing your own funeral and recognizing who those people are that occupy that front row. Who are the people that are going to be sitting in the front row at your funeral? And then thinking about what you are doing to really cherish those people, those front row people in your life, and asking yourself the question, are you being a front row person to someone else out there today?
I would assume you're in your 30s. I don't know how, if underselling or overselling that there. But what if someone listening is in their 40s or 50s or 60s? How do we make changes in life that make a real difference, no matter what age you are?
There's an old Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is today. And that is really the truth. You can't go rewrite the past, but you can take one tiny action in the present that can fundamentally change your future. You won't change your life in a day, but if you start to change your days, you'll eventually change your life.
Just a few seconds remaining, but is there a hope that you have for those who pick up this book and read it as they close the final page? What do you hope they take away from it?
I want people to ask the question about what they truly want out of their own life. Stop living by default and start living by design, by their own real design.
If our viewers want to connect with you, the best way to do so is how?
You can find me at Sahil Bloom on any of the major social platforms, and you can find the book on Amazon or anywhere books are sold.
The book is everywhere, and I've started it. It is a fantastic read. Sahil, congrats on this book, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.